everyone, my name is Christy and I am finally filming this Back to Hogwarts wrap up. I know it's been several months, but that's just how life has been for me. Just so busy, and I'm just glad that I'm getting to do this at all. The creator of this readathon is Cheryl from the Candlewick Library, and then my lovely co-hosts Alma from Alma's Book Journey and Lucy from the Lucy Chronicles. And it's just a really fun time. Every year we get together and we talk about all things Harry Potter, and we get to read a lot of really great books and rewatch some of the movies. It's just a really fun time. So I'm really excited because there were 15 prompts, and if you read 15 different books for the prompts, then you get the Hermione Award. So I got it. Woo! I read a combination of physical books, ebooks, and audiobooks, and I really feel like when you read an audiobook, it's kind of like using the time turner necklace, because you can do 2 things or even 3 things at once. Like, you can listen to it while you're doing the dishes or like laundry or like driving on the road. So I don't know, I thought it was just like a fun little spin on things, and the audiobooks I read were really fun. So let's talk about the prompts and all the books. So first one is called Astronomy, and the prompt for it was a sci-fi book about space, or it has stars on the cover or in the title. And for this book I chose Scarlet from the Lunar Chronicles. I read Cinder last year and I never picked up the next one, but I was like, you know, it's time, I think I'm gonna read it. And I just breezed through it, and it was really fun. It's a Little Red Riding Hood retelling in a future sci-fi dystopian world, and I just loved the romance and the fact that we're following Cinder and Kai from the first book, and we're just like finding out all the things that happened to them, and the plot is just really progressing. So I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. It was unputdownable for me. It was just awesome. Charms, a charming character or a cover that charmed you. And for this one, I actually did a reread of 100 Days of Sunlight, and I've talked about this book a bunch of times before. It's about a girl that loses her sight in a car accident, and she ends up being helped by this boy that has no legs, but she doesn't know that he doesn't have legs because she can't see him. And he loves the fact that she's not treating him like this like sad story. And so it's like this really beautiful, wonderful, feel-good, uplifting YA romance that I wanted to reread, and it was really great. I have to say, as far as the character that charmed me, Weston was the most charming character in this whole book. He's just awesome. Herbology, plants on the cover or in the title. So for this one, I read A Pumpkin and a Patch, and I read this because it was on an Instagrammer's post. I don't remember which Instagrammer it was, but it was supposed to be like closed door books, and I just thought this one had like a very fall vibe going about it, and I was into that. I really wanted to read a fall book in the fall, and I will say this book was very well written, but it was fade to black, and I feel like they were just very open about the fact that they weren't going to save intimacy for marriage. It was just a matter of time when it happened. The makeout scene actually was worse than the fade to black. I just ended up skipping over the whole makeout scene because I was like, oh, this is too much. And then when it actually came time for it, it was just like, oh, let's go and do that, you know. And it wasn't, I don't know, there was not really a build up to it, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, I liked the fall vibe. It was great. Like, it just really put you, like, felt like you were living in a pumpkin patch. I don't know. And it was just really great. And but I wouldn't recommend it to like the majority of my friends on BookTube, because like it was just a little too much as far as I don't even know that I would actually call it clean, because wow. But anyway, if you're really sensitive to that sort of thing, stay away from that book. But if you're not, then go ahead, check it out. Arithmancy, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. But this one is part of a series or a number in the title. And so for this book, I chose The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. This was the perfect September read because it just had these subtly spooky vibes to it, but it wasn't over the top scary. It was like kind of like just we're getting there, we're getting towards Halloween, but we're not like ready to be like, ah, yeah. So this was a murder mystery, and I'm just gonna read part of the description because I feel like this says it best. So it says, Aiden Bishop knows the rules. Evelyn Hardcastle will die every day until he can identify her killer and break the cycle. But every time the day begins again, Aiden wakes up in a body of a different guest at Blackheath Manor. And some of his hosts are more helpful than others. So he basically has to solve the murder. He lives every day from a different perspective, from a different point of view, and he has to solve this murder, and he has to keep redoing the day over until he actually solves it. So it's like a what's that Christmas movie where like he keeps reliving the same day? It's like a freakier version of that. But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was really awesome. Next book is Care of Magical Creatures. Rapunzel's Gambit is the book I read for this prompt, and it's dragon on the cover or in the title, and there is a lovely little dragon on the cover, and there is a wonderful dragon all throughout the story, which made it really fun. So this is about a girl that, So this is about a girl that is a princess, Rapunzel, and her father is like, I'm gonna give your hand in marriage to the first man that can slay the dragon. And she's like, no, we're not gonna do that. So she decides to fake her own kidnapping and go to work with the dragon. And she starts to wonder if she made the right choice a little ways down the road, because there's like this really handsome squire, I think he is. He's not really a knight, that's like trying to rescue her, and she'd met him before. So she's like, did I make the right decision? As always with a Mary Meekum book, there's a plot twist. This book is so much fun. If you like spunky characters with lots of banter and just like back and forth and fun, then you'll really like this book. Muggle Studies. So the prompt for this one was a nonfiction, and I read Secrets of Character on audiobook, and this is a nonfiction about writing, because if you guys didn't know, I am an author and I've written one book, and so I'm just trying to do whatever I can to work on my craft and get better at that. And so I read this book, and it was good. I mean, I feel like I already knew a lot of this stuff, things I'd picked up elsewhere. But if you are just beginning your author journey and you're not really sure what to do or like how to really frame a character, this would be a good book to listen to or read. Flying lessons includes some form of air travel. So for this one, I reread Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, and this was a buddy read with Alma and Lucy. It's always a fun time doing buddy reads with those two. And it's just really great to go back and find things that you never noticed before. And that's one thing I love about the Harry Potter books, is there's just so many nuggets and little things that you didn't catch maybe the first or second time you read it, because I think this is like the third time I read it. And it's just enchanting. It's just wonderful. It's just magical. It's so fun. So next book I'm going to talk about is for the potions prompt, and it's a collection of essays, poems, or short stories. It's called The Haunted Brew, and the common thread is that they all mention some kind of tea or drink in their stories as a theme throughout. And the first one was super cute. It wasn't really spooky. It was more like magical and fantastical. I think it had to do with like elves and stuff. The second one was by Lealoha Humphreys, and this is the one I enjoyed the most. It was like a kind of a ghost story based on a Hawaiian folklore or something like that. And I don't know, it was just really good. It was not too scary. It was like just spooky enough, but it wasn't really that scary. And there was a great love story in it that I really, really enjoyed. So I love that one. Then the next one was based on the Headless Horseman. I really enjoyed that one as well. This one was a little bit scarier. I don't know. It wasn't like have nightmares kind of scary, but it was just like spooky because it was a little bit more ghosty. So, but beautiful, happy ending. I loved it. It was fun. Great fall read. Now, the very last one, I have to warn you, I feel like it is my job to warn somebody out there because this author is by Sarah Brand, the last one. She usually writes things about like fairies and fluffy little happy things. And I was actually traumatized by this story because, so much so that I had to talk to my mom about it on the phone. Like, I was like, I can't believe I just read this and like what? And it wasn't even the kind of thing I could really DNF because it happened, the bad stuff like happened at the end, and it was kind of like, you still wanted to know like what was going on and like what happened. Anyway, this had a trigger warning in the beginning for off-page amputation. I can handle that. Like somebody loses their leg or something in a war, I can handle that. But I don't know if I missed it. I probably need to go back and look at it. Maybe it was on the trigger warnings and I just didn't see it or something. But there was definitely like an on-page amputation. And I don't do that. I'm sorry, bleeding all over the place. Like, no. And then what happened as a result, like what happened after that whole scene was just so thoroughly disgusting to me. I'm not gonna say what it was because I want to keep this like rated PG. If this was a movie, this definitely would have been rated R. I was just very shocked, and I literally like didn't want to read for like 3 days after this book because that's how like traumatizing it was for me. So if you pick up The Haunted Brew, I would recommend the first 3, but unless you don't care about bloody limbs all over the place, stay away from the last one. Yeah, okay. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, let's go on to a happier topic. So I'm going to talk about Ancient Runes, a book with a mystery or puzzle to solve. This book was called House of Secrets, and this was an audiobook that I read, that I got from the library, and it was really, really wonderful. It was a wild ride, and it was a little spooky. There's like kind of a ghost thing going on in it, but not too bad because it's a middle grade book. And it was backed by J.K. Rowling. Now there was a moment in the book where I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this book very much because there was like something sad that happened, but I kept listening. It ended up being a really happy ending. Everything got worked out. I actually really enjoyed it. Like once I got to the end, I was like, oh, I really did like that book. So yeah, there you go. Here's the description. I'll just read it because it says it best. Siblings Brendan, Eleanor, and Cordelia Walker once had everything they could ever want, but everything changed when Dr. Walker lost his job. Now the family must relocate to an old Victorian house, formerly the home of occult novelist Denver Christoph, a house that simultaneously feels creepy and too good to be true. But by the time the Walkers realize that one of their neighbors has sinister plans for them, they're banished to a primeval forest way off the grid. Bloodthirsty medieval warriors patrol the woods around them, supernatural pirates roam the neighboring seas, and a power-hungry queen rules the land. To survive, the siblings will have to be braver than they ever thought possible, and to fight against their darkest impulses. The key may lie in their own connection to the secret Christoph legacy. But as they unravel that legacy, they'll discover that it's not just their family that's in danger, it's the entire world. So this book was really good. I recommend it. Divination, a book you predict will be 5 stars. Okay, so I chose The Summer I Turned Pretty, and it turns out that I was very wrong because I did not connect with this book at all. This book was not for me. That's all I'll say about it, because I know there's a lot of people that really love that book, and it is a TV series after all. And I don't know, maybe the TV series is better than the book. Maybe I'll watch it someday. We'll see. But anyway, it was not 5 stars for me. But maybe someone else out there will like it very much in subscriber land. Transfiguration, a transformation that takes place, or a book in translation. For this one, I read The Princess Swap, and this book is just delightful. Actually, I listened to it on audiobook, so I felt like it just really like pulled me into this fairy tale world. It's a middle grade, and the description says, what would happen if Cinderella found herself in Beast's castle and Beauty woke up in some evil stepmother's home? So fairy tales meets Freaky Friday in this series, where there's a magical mix-up for every princess. So I just read the first one, and it was really cute. It was really sweet, and I loved that they had this beautiful message of forgiveness in this book. It was just a really wonderful read. It made me happy the whole way through. Defense Against the Dark Arts, Training for War, Good versus Evil, or Spiritual Warfare. So for this one, I chose Tress of the Emerald Sea. This book was really fun. I started reading this book physically first, and then I was just like, you know what? The way this is like, the writing style and everything, I feel like this will actually be a better audiobook, because it's just very like whimsical, and the way he had the sentences on the page, like, I don't know, it's just kind of hard to describe. So I ended up switching to an audiobook for this one, and it's just really fun. It's really crazy. There's like all these crazy things happening. It is about, let's see, do I have the description here? So it's basically about this girl. She's in love with this boy. They want to get married, and he ends up being captured by this evil sorceress, and she has to, and it's somewhere in the Midnight Sea, which is like a deadly sea, like one drop of the, well, it's not really water, it's like spores or something like that. It's really weird. One drop of it can kill you, so it's like really perilous to sail through the sea. And so she ends up stowing away on, I think it's like a pirate ship, and in an effort to try to save her man. So it's just a really, really sweet love story with a really cute ending. I enjoyed it. It was fun. History of Magic, a historical fiction. So for this one, it was kind of like a cozy mystery in a historical fiction, and this was a thief in Stickleback Hollow, and I want to say it was like in the early 1900s. I can't even remember exactly when it was, but the description says Lady Sarah Montgomery never intended to solve crimes, but after her parents' untimely death and her unexpected return to England, she can't seem to escape from mysteries. Even in a sleepy rural manor house on the border of a quaint country village, the perfect escape is destroyed by a break-in, an attack on the butler, and the theft of her father's pocket watch. So it's not really a murder mystery, it's more like a theft mystery kind of thing. It takes place in an old manor, and there's a little bit of romance, so it was really cute. Alchemy, a gold book. So this book, the book I chose for this one is called Stalks of Gold. So we have gold in the title, it's got a gold cover, and there's gold in the story, so yay! And this book is by Celeste Baxendale, and I absolutely love Celeste Baxendale. She's got two of my favorite books of the year, 2 years in a row, Ties of Starlight and The Wicked Prince. Love, love, love those stories. Like, I want to study those stories so I can know how to write better, literally. However, this book did not connect with me. I would say this is a not for me book. So that's all I'll say about it. And if you really love those other stories, probably just skip this one. I've heard that you can't, like, you don't, it's like standalone in the fairy tale series, so you don't necessarily like have to read this one to be able to understand what's going on. So anyway, I've heard from others that it's okay to skip this one if you want. That's all I'll say about that. But Celeste Baxendale, love her. Last book, Time Turner is the prompt, a book about time travel. And so I read Every Hour Until Then. This was the best book in the series for me so far, the Timeless series. You guys have heard me talk about this before, but we follow a girl that wakes up in a different time period every other day. It's just 2 different time periods. So it's the 1880s and the 1930s, I believe. And what makes this book so compelling is that when she's in the future time period, the 1930s, she actually finds out that her sister in the 1880s is going to be a victim of Jack the Ripper. So she's like trying to figure out who this guy is, if she can find out who he is. She's trying to find her sister because she can't really find her sister. She's like sort of missing at this point. She's trying to solve this whole like family mystery that's going on that's really crazy. So like there's just a lot going on. I could not put this book down. This was so good. And the romance, I was so into this romance. And I thought this had the best ending of all the books in the series. Some of the endings feel a little bit sad to me, but this one was so, so happy. I loved it so much. So that's all the books for the Back to Hogwarts Readathon. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found something that caught your eye. Let me know what you think, if you've read any of these books, if you have any similar thoughts or opinions, or maybe you have a different opinion. Like maybe you really loved The Summer I Turned Pretty. Anyways, let me know what you think. I will see you guys in the next video.